Hey, hello. How's it going? Good, good, good. Hey, Tuttle. How's it going? When I tested, all the audio sounded fine. So you'll have to let me know if I am correct or not. Couching it. Good, good, good. Voice is good. Excellent. I'm not playing any music. Well, I am playing music myself, but now I can listen to whatever I want to and not worry about getting copyrighted. And then you can listen to whatever you want to. And you know, that was my thinking on that. So is everybody freezing? Is it cold everywhere? It's actually it was pretty warm today. 20 Fahrenheit there. For January, that's probably pretty okay. That is pretty chilly. I think we got up to 30. I don't know where it's at now. Warmer there, but you bought fuzzy socks. Nice. Fuzzy socks for the win. I think we're supposed to get up to the mid 40s next week. I have a bet going on with one of my coworkers. He doesn't think we're getting any snow at all, any meaningful snow at all this year. And I thought we were going to have something by mid-January, by like January 15th. The wager's for a cup of coffee, so it's nothing, horribly serious, but kind of fun. And I am pretty sure I am buying her a cup of coffee because we've not yet had anything that really resembles a full-on winter here. We had a little bit of snow, we've had a little bit of ice, and it's been pretty cold, but that's about it. So watch on January 16th, it's gonna just blizzard. And I have been pretty okay, thank you. I've been keeping busy with the holidays and stuff and things. And my house got like super out of control or out of hand. So my sewing room was kind of a storage room for a while. So last week when I put away Christmas, I was like, you know what? I want this room back so I can get back to my sewing projects because I still have them. Hey, Will, have I ever sewed a stuffed quaggan or choya? I have not sewn a stuffed quaggan or a choya, but I have contemplated that I should probably learn how because they're adorbs. Uh, but also, I haven't done any stuffed anything of any kind, so I don't know. Do it, do it. What was the other thing I was thinking of doing? It was something to do with the Guild Wars 2 cuddly, fuzzy critter, and I don't remember what it was. Yes, please, so Mr. Quiggles. I suppose you probably want his little balloons too that he's holding on to. By the time I get around to it, I'm sure there's going to be another like something adorable and little. I crafted one for my homestead, but I need one to protect my real homestead. Guard cat is getting old. Oh, yeah. That takes care of that one. If I don't make stuffed ones, would cross stitch do? Because I have found that I enjoy a good cross stitch. Didn't know that till like August. Definitely sweet. Maybe I'll see if I can figure out how to do a super cute cross stitch. So the stuffed animal in home ec in school. Did ya? What kind of stuffed animal? After 9 zillion finger punctures. It was clear sewing is not my jam. Also, well, yeah, but like s- sewing three-dimensional is a little more tricky than sewing two-dimensional, like quilting and clothing and such. There's a light blue, fuzzy, non-distinguishable stuffed creature. I dig it. That's awesome. Oops. Okay. This is where I need. It's likely it was supposed to be something obvious, but I managed to make it just plump and roundish and blue. Much stuffings. So much stuffings. What was it that I made recently that I was like super surprised how much fiber fill I needed? Made um it was a bustle. I made a bustle for that skirt, um, steampunk skirt last mm, whatever. Um, and I think I added some to it. It already had I cannibalized one um like years ago in a different skirt that I couldn't wear anymore. And so then I added a little bit more stuffing and took so much more stuffing than I was expecting that it was going to. Again, with the thinking three-dimensional and not flat. Goodness. Having to adjust and making the lines for the casings so it'll hold the bonings. And what I use for boning is not what they would recommend because they have their own product that they want you to buy. Uh, you can buy boning, uh, but that's more expensive than what size did I get? Cable ties. They are. Does it say how wide? If only I had a measuring apparatus directly in front of me on the very table in front of which I am sitting. But yeah, indoor, outdoor, heavy duty cable ties become bonings. Wait a second, you cannibalized a skirt. Would that make me a skirt? It does not make me a skirt. Well, it it made a skirt for me. In that case, yes, made me a skirt. But no. Uh, just taking bits and pieces from something that isn't needed anymore. I think this is like okay, it's like 3/8 inch wide, and the pattern calls for half-inch wide. No, quarter inch. I'm good at math. I'm good at numbers. Let's do it this way. I was good at math, but hate mathing so much that I never math unless I'm forced to. That sounds like me. I guess I can be good at math. I know what I need to do to get the proper whatever it is that I'm trying to get to with the numbers, but uh, still, still though, the numbers themselves are difficult. That's what I've come to. All right, Astro, you have a good night as well. Take care. We'll see you around. Oh no. This is the fabric I'm going to be making this bodice out of. It is going to be, mm, so in the picture, there's the two ladies, and the one that's in the more pastel colors, the lighter colors, that's the bodice that I'm making. So it doesn't have the little extra skirt on top of the big full skirt. Um, and yeah, this is the couch material that I'm making this thing out of. If I had more fabric, I'd make the other one, but this was a very small remnant piece that I had, so. Couch skirt. I have two couch dresses, as a matter of fact. They have 8 yards each of couch material. Well, one of them is more couch material than the other one. The one is suede, so it's a little bit lighter weight anyways, but the first one I have, it is full on upholstery fabric, 8 yards, and it feels like it in the summertime. Be like, yes, I am wearing a couch now. Mm. Now I have to like, I have to make a choice. So because I am using bigger uh, boning, these pieces, I need to keep the pieces with the pieces. This goes with those. These ones go with this. Um, so this seam is going to be 5/8 of an inch, leaving a 3/8 inch casing. But I actually want a 1/4 inch casing. Actually, no, not a quarter. I want a 1/2 inch casing. So that's going to have to bump out to 1 1/8 for that long line. And I probably then want to move the grommets out another 1/4 inch as well. Yes. Good material for January though? True, albeit still air conditioned. Yes. However, most of the time that I wear those dresses, it's summertime because we're crazy in the Midwest and we always have our Renaissance festivals outside. It seems a lot more complicated than a stuffed quaggan. Not to me. This is all flat, not stuffed and, you know, three-dimensional. All right, so we still want or need, I guess, need the stitching line here. Well, I guess I probably don't even need to do the little wheelie thing if I'm just gonna plop this down. Sorry about the camera shake. I feel like you're watching quantum physics. How? How? This is this is geometry at best. Then just have to go out quarter inch. So what I'm gonna do for the grommet holes. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, but I make it pretty. Oh, thanks. Eventually I'll get to sewing everything, but in the meantime, I gotta just get it all ready. I thought about, well, I'll just, maybe I'll wait to stream until I've got, everything prepped, but then I was like, well, then I'll never stream. As a child, I couldn't color inside the lines, so this is advanced stuff to me. Uh, Honestly, I'm only good at copying over. If I had to do this all on my own and make up the pattern as I went along, I'd be completely lost. Maybe one of these days I'll take some kind of patterning class. That would be cool. Definitely would be. Yeah. Lots of work though. Oh, what's a little work, right? Probably blocking a lot of what I'm doing with my arm. Mm. Anybody got fun plans for the weekend or big plans for the weekend? Feel like big plans are kind of like gone now that holidays are over. Be like, yeah, it's back to like just having weekends. Which hey, I am a-okay with. I like my just having weekends. One patient to see, otherwise Guild Wars and chill. That sounds like an excellent weekend. So this is an inch. I've already forgotten how big that was. Inch and an eighth or inch and a quarter? Inch and an eighth. Me, um, I mean, Final Fantasy Guild Wars 2 and probably this. I'll keep, unless I get like really mad at it or something. I think I've decided I'm not gonna do much streaming of video games anymore. Just, I don't know. I don't feel like I have anything new to say or new to add or I don't know, whatever. And I don't know. Yeah. Uh, until I don't feel like that anymore. I'm like, yeah, you know what? This I know. This, and there's not that many people who do this. There's so many people who do video games. So, yeah, I should. I mean, again, I might get it back. I might get that, you know, the feel of it again. I don't know. But until then, I don't know. If drops, whenever drops happen, I'll probably stream that. Sorry. Dryer just stopped, so bear with. I will be right back. Stuff will get folded later. I don't need to fold it now. All right, so mm, this is the last piece that I need to do this with. Yay! And that is all the marking up that I need to do. Huzzah! I can start actually sewing now. So we do so that piece. It's this one. This one is that one. This one is that one. So the bodice is a front, a front side, and a back side, or side front, side back. And then each of those, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. Yeah, 7 pieces are made up of 3 layers. So the pretty fancy outside layer is what I'll deal with last. The pieces that I just marked all up are the inner lining, and then I have some poly cotton, I think. That is my lining fabric. And first thing I have to do is put all of the lining pieces together with the interlining pieces. Start making a sandwich. got a cramp in my back. Ugh. I should maybe put to give myself more, inspiration, not inspiration, motivation to A, get things done and B, stream it. Maybe I'll put a list of what I am wanting to make for 2025 down in the description area. Then I can check it off as I go along. Pretty sure this year I will be doing the Renaissance Festival with Accents Historical, uh, Accents Historical, don't remember all the things, uh, but the hat shop that I was helping out with this last year. I want more outfits to wear. More outfits is more better, right? The color thread that I use here literally does not matter. We're going to use the lime green thread because I have nothing else that is going to require lime green thread. I already did that project. is gone. Let's do the crazy orange thread that I have like just so much of for no reason that I can remember. I think I did it. Man, that was a long time ago. Back in college, I made a Sailor Venus costume. That's the only reason I can think I have so much orange. Pardon the camera move. Does it? Any if I go this way with it? Really? I could go this way with it. Oh, but the bright light just doesn't really let you see much. just doing basting stitching, so it's not even like it's gotta be particularly nice looking stitches, just putting pieces all together so they stay together. Sandwich stays together. That should, in theory, that'll fit. That will fit pretty well. Am I doing that? So this gets done at a normal stitch size. That makes sense. And I will backstitch this because I am not planning on coming through and redoing this particular stitch. Putting the casing between the lining and the interlining will make it so that on the actual outside bodice, you won't see um, the casing stitches. Some bodices and corsets will show those, but a lot of them won't. Just a little more finished and looks a little nicer. Adds a little bit of like uh, finish and finesse. Adds to the magic of the garment. Hmm. I want to clean up those corners before I try putting that through. That is how it shapes it. In case you've never seen boning bits before. Oh, I should have trimmed off the other corner. Shoot. You don't need to snag. It's okay. You really don't need to snag. All right, I am gonna take a few minutes bio break. I will be right back. I'm gonna run some ads so then more ads don't run later during the rest of the stream. I shall be back. Okay, and back. Thank you for the indulgence. Needed to do a little bit of stretchy stretch. Didn't drink water though. Let me drink water. Right. panic just a little bit for just a second. It's like, oh, did I stitch the bottom? I did not. Mm. Uh, should. Thinking maybe I should have pinned these two pieces together or started stitching it down the middle of the pattern piece, but that's fine. Hey, Thurpleton. How are you doing today? Happy Friday to you. How are you doing today? I've given myself the gift of my sewing room back, so now I get to sew and hang out again, which is nice. Doing well and even better now that evening is here. Cat on lap and slowly making some bread in the kitchen. Ooh, what kind of bread are you making? That sounds like an awfully cozy, nice Friday evening. Like the wide angle shot. Oh, thank you so much. I have been fortunate that I have a spare bedroom that I can do this with. I'm hoping maybe over the summer now. It was going to be last summer's project, but then last summer got away from me. So, whatever. Um, I'm thinking about repainting it a little bit. Um, I was going to completely repaint that dark blue, made it really, really dark in here. Funny that. And so now I'm thinking rather than just completely repainting it, maybe I'll do some stenciling just to kind of lighten it up because I still really like that blue. Some sourdough. Oh, late to the craze from a few years back. Oh, but sourdough is such a classic. Do you do a lot of baking or is bread your main thing? Recently started doing a little bit more now that I realize that I am a grown-up and I can buy things like a mixer, and that makes baking and cooking in general so much easier than stirring by hand. Funny that. But I don't do it a whole lot. I've got a uh, projects, a couple of mixes that I want to put together. A friend of mine gave me some gingerbread cookie mix, and seems like I've got something else escaping my mind. If when I get a home, I may incorporate the paint scheme from Firefly, where the engine is a warm orange that changes over the ship to a cold blue in the operating room. That's amazing. That would be wicked. I kind of have thought that it would be neat to have uh, some of the rooms in a house, like the color of in Morrowind, the dark blue. It's really dark, like really dark blue downstairs basement type places with glowing lamps. I like that aesthetic, but I don't know how long I would like that. Like I'll sit in there and then be like, I can't see anything. I need to turn the lights on. Don't do a lot of baking, but learned how to bread a couple months ago and may push to learn other things for 2025. Nice. Nice, nice, yes. I know my mom was doing some experimenting with sourdough bread earlier this year, and one of the more interesting things I thought that she found was to use sourdough to make um, like croissants, like the super layered everything. Uh, they turned out really good. Sewing is also a hobby I'd love to pick up before the final checkout. Nice, nice. Any specific sewing, like quilting or home decor, clothing, costuming? Clothing, nice. That is what I predominantly do. I've made one quilt, I've made some pillows, but yeah, I like the clothing, and I don't know, I distinguish. I like costumes. They're more forgiving, I think. If I do more of the sewing of the costumes, I'll be more confident in doing everyday clothing. Is it because the costumes are more forgiving process, because they won't be as demanding, as to say, won't fall apart as quickly because they're rarely worn? Asking out of ignorance. Yeah, basically. Um, so with the costume pieces, yeah, I only wear them maybe a couple times, and given that they are costume pieces, they don't have to look quite as good since not look quite so good, but like look as finished, I guess, in some aspects of them. Uh, and yeah, I can just kind of throw, oh yeah, no, I just made it as a costume, so it only has to be for this particular, an event or whatnot. So for regular wear clothes, you'd have to do additional sewing to ensure longer last. Um, it's not as much additional sewing, so much as like finishing off seams. A lot of your clothes that you're gonna buy, purchase, are gonna be serged. Um, so I don't know if it's black on black, that won't show. Um, but just the stitching that's on almost every store-bought garment, um, where the edge of like the cut edge would be, uh, you would want those finished off really nicely. With my costume pieces, I do finish them off so they don't ravel out, but I don't this one gets put all the way around. I don't have a serger. I don't spend a whole lot of time finishing off the edges. Is that a term for the tie off at the ends of a thread line? No, so a serger is sort of it's a kind of sewing machine. Most sewing machines just have a top thread and a bottom thread, and those two threads interlock to form your long stitch. A serger has three, four, sometimes five threads, all coming from top and bottom to interlock. Like I say, if you look on like the cuff of a sweater, do I have anything that is serged that's handy that would show? 'Cause my hoodie, I don't think it's going to show. Um, but um, I don't know, it gives it it flattens the edge down and zigzag kind of over all of it. Uh, a lot of knits are going to be serged. Not all wovens are serged. Some are. Jeans aren't, I don't think. Um, but yeah, it is just a little bit nicer finishing. It also has a blade that cuts, so as you're stitching along, so if I were to be stitching along this or serging it, uh, I'd be serging inside a little bit, and then whatever's left out this outside, it cuts it, looks more intensely at your shirt. Um, yeah, it's cool. I used to have a serger. I used it like a whole one time, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get as much use out of this as it warrants having. So I gave it to my friend who went nuts with it. She loved it. Uh, I have been, so like one of the projects I made over the last couple years, I made a pair of overalls out of denim, and then last year I made the shirt that went with. They were um, like a retro pattern from the 40s, uh, kind of the Rosie the Riveter type of look it was going for, and that was pretty normal um, clothing, although I was still making it for a costume. Um, so yeah, that was a little bit more of a challenge, and I think I did okay. Buttonholes are things that I am not used to dealing with, and so making myself make buttonholes was good. Good. I did a good job with them. Zippers, I'm getting better with too. Uh, that's a nice thing when I'm doing like historical costumes. Like this thing is going to be a bodice. It's a kind of a corset type of thing. It gets um, grommets, little holes with metal circles on them, and then you lace it up. Super easy. Super easy. Only ever thought of a higher quality thread, not that common clothes. You could just have more thread jammed in there, right? As an aside, I'm crestfallen at the loss of not even institutional knowledge, but general knowledge for sewing in this country, right? I believe I heard that in the 90s, half of the clothes we bought were made in the USA. Generational. Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, generational. Yeah. Yeah. Um, it'll be kind of interesting. I don't want to go into lots of politics, but could have mistyped it. It's all good. And I had to look across the way where it's a little bit smaller over here. Um, we get so much of our clothing made in China, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, that um, and it's cheaper, the labor's cheaper, and then yeah, we're not tariffs thing, and that's going to be a thing that is going to probably start happening. It'll be interesting to see if we do end up having more sewing industry in the States. It'd be good to, I think it would be good. I think that would be um, any time that people can learn a skill, whether it's by necessity or because they want to, that's always good. But preaching to the choir, or maybe to the crew in this case. Heck yeah. So as of right now, I sew because I like to. I hope I don't have to sew because I have to, but if that ends up becoming a thing, well, at least I have that know-how, and then I can swap that with somebody who knows how to do something else that I don't know how. Uh, You said this was part of a corset. Do you have a mannequin that you can put stuff on to visualize? Yes. So this will be a bodice, as opposed the difference being a corset is an undergarment, bodice, which is also a structured, similarly shaped piece, is outerwear. Um, and I do uh, have a dress or a dress form. So this more out of the way. So the piece that I'm pinning right now is the back of it. It'll hang a little funky right now, but the front is where it will secure it laces up the front. And then I think this is the it won't line up real well. Curves are funky, but um, does that kind of give you an idea of it goes over a shirt. Um, oh no, you're good, you're good. Torso part of the garment. Yep, exactly. Oh no, you're fine, you're fine. So the picture that's just up here, that's the pattern that I'm making this, and I'm doing. They're very similar bodice um, shirt and skirt pieces, but I'm doing the one that's the lighter colored. Um, if I say that it's on the right side as you're looking at it, I hope that's correct because I do my left rights all messed up. But the the dress where it's kind of floofy down, not the dark green one. Um, so it's just a vest and it stops at the skirt or at the waistline. Yep, the tiered skirt. Yep, exactly. If I had more of the fabric that I'm making this with, I would like to have done the fancier one. It's got what are called peplums that come out a little bit over the skirt. But the fabric that I'm making this with, I only had so much of it, but that's going to be what the outside of it is made of. Uh, nice muted neutral colors, but it's got some really pretty colors in there. There's sort of an olive, a dark olive green. There's some burgundy. There's some gold. I think there's some blue. So it'll be really versatile what I could put, skirts and such with. So, uh, and it was a remnant, so I'm giving life to one more piece of fabric that could otherwise have been thrown away. So that's I started streaming my sewing as a way of motivating myself because I have difficulty sometimes motivating myself to do things. Um, but also as a way to get through all of the fabric that I have. I worked for Hancock Fabrics for 7 years, and I bought a lot of fabric. And so I've been carrying that fabric around, moving it for, oh, some of it 15 years. Uh, so it's time to like actually either do something with the fabric or move it along, give it to somebody else who will do something with it. And so that's why I started. I'm like, all right, we're gonna just start sewing through it. I've got some projects in mind for some of them. Some of it we'll have to come up with something later or as I go. Uh, and some of the pieces that I make, I've decided I might just make it, but not necessarily for me. I don't know if I'll sell it and just donate it. There are a few patterns that I would like to try making, but I no longer fit that size, and I don't necessarily want to go buy another pattern in a larger size. So I might just make it because I can, and then do something with the resulting item. Oh yeah, go for it. Thank you. Lurk away. This is going to be the only piece that I am stitching up the bottom on because it is the only piece that does not get any boning in it. You're back. Oh, last I caught was you may make more pieces. Oh, something. Um, so I may make some items or garments that are not going to be anything that I will wear, um, just because it'll be um, I don't know, to make a new kind of pattern or something. Um, sort of the experience of it, but because so many of the patterns that I have, uh, again, I got like 15 years ago, up to 15 years ago, and I am not the same size or shape that I was at the time, so those won't fit necessarily. Um, but I might still make them just for the experience of making them and to get rid of the fabric, and then I will either donate or sell those pieces. There's actually a piece that I've already done that with. I made a 60s sort of style mod dress, um, and I made the mistake of making the hem way too short. I was like, oh yeah, they come with short hems, so yeah, we'll just make that a short hem, and that it was short all right. It was more of a shirt by the time I was done with it. So I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and pass that along, and maybe somebody will want that for Halloween. Just as an idea of asking to make outfits for friends. Well, that's the one thing. I used to sew with the friend that I gave my serger to. She and I had a sewing business. We made costumes, and I got a little bit burnt out on the commission process. It was fun. It was, yeah, a really good collaborative, creative time. Uh, but yeah, not if there's very few instances where I would right now want to sew for somebody. Um, I've done a few things. Last year, actually, work commissioned me. I work at an eye clinic, and the optical lab has some equipment that comes with these plastic covers, but they're really cheap plastic and they shred really easily. So they asked if I could make new covers, and they got me the fabric for it. I'm like, all right, yeah, well, let's do that. And so that was kind of fun. Um, but yeah, at this point, showing like, hey, do you want something? I I don't want the expectation. Um, that may change, but for right now, uh, I'm just gonna sew, and if somebody ends up wanting something that I have, like, sure, cool. But yeah, I don't want to. I don't know. Yeah, do it for someone. Wasn't thinking commission as much as I can see you in this outfit, and I think it'd be cool, so I did this on my own. Yeah, that's true. Uh, I should at some point get more, like everything that I do tends to be women's because most people who want costumes when we were doing the sewing business were women. And also I am a woman. So um, yeah, most of what I've done are women's. I do have a bunch of doll outfits, like 18-inch doll patterns, uh, or clothing patterns, doll clothing patterns. Um, I'd like to start doing some stuff with those. That could be fun. Uh, Children's clothing could be fun. Uh, and men's wear would be, yeah, the fit is all just a little different. Concepts are all the same, but slightly different ways of going about things, I guess. The desire to get into it is a hobby, is seeing a piece or outfit either in games like Guild Wars or whatever and wanting to make it real. Sure. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I admire the people who can do those sorts of things, like create their own patterns, because I can modify patterns, um, but I have not taken any like pattern making classes or anything, pattern drafting. Um, that is also something I would like to figure out at some point, but um, and maybe that'll be some fabric turns into pattern draft materials. Uh, but yeah, there are a lot of people who are so creative. They can see it and then they create just completely new. Yeah, it's great. One of my friends earlier when I was just starting out this morning or this afternoon was he's like, "Are you making a stuffed choya or stuffed quaggan? When stuffed choya, stuffed quaggan when?" All right. Maybe I'll have to, that can be my patterning class, learn how to make a stuffed choya. It's like, it's human skeleton. Surely there are hurdles I can't even consider that await me. But that's the adventure too, is finding, okay, well, how can I get from where I am to what I'm wanting it to be? Glad you popped in to chat. Hope you might make a milestone today that propels you to more sessions ahead. Yes, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope the bread turns out wonderfully because bread should always turn out wonderfully. Bread is great. Oh, yeah, go for it. One question on the process. Yes. In programming, there's a point that some folks refer to as tech joy, where you aren't done yet, nor are you starting or even in the middle, but things are starting to come together and you just feel all magical inside. Do you ever feel that with these projects? Yes, yes. Um, yeah, all the time. Um, as so from about the point where I start putting each of these pieces together, um, when I will start like at every point putting it on the mannequin just to see like, okay, what's it looking like now? Yeah. And it's it can get like that tends to be where I stop then because like, okay, yep, there we go. And then it won't be much longer. I'll come back to that. And then I stop and then I don't come back to it. But yeah, absolutely. Um, anytime where I have something that it's we call it right sides together. So the what's going to be the outside of whatever it is that I'm making, uh, you usually stitch those sides together and then you open them out, and that puts the unfinished edge or the selvage edges on the inside of the item. And so whenever I do a turn it to the right side out, oh, satisfying. And I'm just like, oh, this is so good. Look at this. Look at this. This is great. Um, yeah, I'll mock things up just so I can see how it's gonna look. Yeah, that's a good little high. And I agree. English needs a word for that. We can work on that. I endorse it. Absolutely. You have a good evening. Thanks so much for hanging out. I will catch y'all later. It's doing so well at chaining. I should have started with one of these pieces instead of the back piece, but that's all right. It's one last basting stitch. And then put the channels in these two backside pieces. I think these are the back sides. Oh no. Excuse me. All right. We have completed step one in 2.5 hours. Do I want to keep going? It is 10 o'clock. I think that is where I'm going to stop for the night. I think that's a good stopping spot. And then we can start putting all the pieces together. It'll be great. Might do that tomorrow or Sunday or yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still pretty non-committal right now, but I want to get back to doing this more often. So, yeah, thank you for hanging out. Oh, you're still awake? Why? It's so late. All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. You took naps. So good. That's good. I did not. Oh, there's no armrest there. That would have been awkward. Uh, all right. Well, have a good night. I will catch y'all later. I'm not gonna raid out, I don't think. That's a lot of work. We'll just end it there. Kept the phone open for view. Yay. I appreciate. Thanks. Bye.